predominantly the Sikh community are peaceful, do live by our British way of life and our British society, do support us. I mean, we've seen it with Tommy Robinson turning around and saying, you know, the Sikh community have been absolutely instrumental as well in their fight against the predominantly Muslim rape gangs here in this country.
And obviously the
So,
Sikhs are no fan of the Islamists, are they? But the problem
correct.
the problem is though, Base, we hear in that video someone, or that first video that I played, someone trying to justify the ceremonial knife, the kirpan, saying, well, that's what it is meant to be used for. I'm sorry, you can't carry a ceremonial knife in our country. I don't think there should be an exception for the Sikh religion. I'm afraid we are a Christian country. There should not be exceptions for other religions in this country to be armed when we cannot be armed, when you cannot walk our streets based with pepper spray as a vulnerable woman. Yet a Sikh can carry a ceremonial knife. And I know that Sikhs will say, well, it wasn't the ceremonial knife that killed Henry Novak. It was a much bigger knife. But the point is, he was able to get away with carrying a knife around because he could say, well, I'm a Sikh.
Like I said at the beginning, this is why nobody wants us here anymore. This is why nobody wants ethnic minorities here anymore. They don't want the Asians, they don't want the Muslims, they don't want normal Africans who love this country like myself and my family members here
No,
anymore.
I want
Because
Courtney.
people like this who just ruin it.
I don't want
every
everybody.
single time. He's even
No, I
ruined the
don't
very
want
good
culture.
reputation of the Sikh community
No,
because
no,
of his
not
disgusting
all.
comments.
No,
First
no,
and
no, no,
foremost,
there is
what code of
people.
conduct? What are you talking
Hang
about?
on a minute, there
A
is.
code of conduct says that you have to defend a murderer? Are you joking? This goes back to what I've been saying since the beginning of my journalism, which is all cultures are not the same.
Predominantly Muslim rape gangs, because they turn around and say, well, it's allowed in Sharia law, and we only support our own in Sharia law. You know, that to me is like the equivalent argument, and that is absolutely scary. And I want to end with this. The difference between, let's say, the Muslim community and I would say the Sikh community is that with the Sikh community, I think that people like this Bobby character are the exception. I think
Maybe,
from
but
the
maybe
evidence
not.
that I've seen,
I don't think
The-
so.
predominantly the Sikh community
No, the Sikh
are
community
peaceful,
I'm not that
do
peaceful, I
live
think.
by our British way of life,
Well, they used
and
to
our
be
British
the
society,
old Sikh community.
do support us.
But
I
not
mean,
this
we've seen it
new
with Tommy
radicalised-
Robinson turning around and saying, you know, the
Unfortunately, don't
Sikh
know what's happened,
community
but these
have
people
been
are
absolutely
being
instrumental
radicalised.
as well in their fight against the predominantly Muslim rape gangs here in this
Obviously,
country.
like this lady
And obviously the
So-
Sikhs are no fan
African
of
lady.
the Islamists,
There's
are they?
obviously
But the
still
problem
some
Correct.
black African people that aren't
the problem
radicalised
is though, Base,
into that.
we
but
hear
there's
in
not-
that video someone, or
And-
that first
and
video
I'm
that I
gonna
played,
say,
someone
I think
trying to
that we have
justify
a right and
the
a
ceremonial
duty.
knife, the kirpan, saying,
Even
well, that's
myself,
what it
I have
is
a right
meant
and
to be
duty.
used
Well,
for.
I have
I'm
a right,
sorry,
my granddad has a right
you
to
can't carry a
Except me.
ceremonial knife in our country. I
And
don't
we
think
do have
there
a right
should
and a
be
duty to
an
protect the black
exception
African
for the Sikh
people
religion.
that are
I'm afraid we are a
integrated
Christian country.
correctly.
There should not be
The black
exceptions for
African people
other
that- the people that
religions
are
in this
integrated
country
correctly
to be
people.
armed
Plus we have a
when
right to
we
protect
cannot be
them as
armed,
well.
when you cannot walk our streets based
But
with
not
pepper
all
spray
these legal
as a vulnerable
migrants
woman.
and everything else. We
Yet
don't
a
have
Sikh
a right to be
can
sexual
carry a
criminals
ceremonial
that
knife.
don't
And I
belong
know
in this
that
country.
Sikhs will say, well, it wasn't
They
the
should be
ceremonial knife
deported. There's jails in their
that
own
killed
countries.
Henry Novak. It was a much bigger knife. But the point is, he was able to get away with carrying a knife around
And he was
because
able
he
to
could say,
fire
well, I'm a
guns
Sikh.
and all sorts because he was a Sikh.
Like I said at the beginning,
And what I
this
don't
is why
like
nobody
about the
wants us
Sikhs,
here
about
anymore.
your saying
This is
that
why
about the
nobody
Sikhs,
wants ethnic
hang on a
minorities
minute,
here
the
anymore.
Sikhs
They don't
know
want
they
the
got
Asians,
enough
they don't want
hand.
the Muslims, they
They,
don't
yeah, but
want
they know
normal
with their
Africans who love
faith,
this country like
the
myself and my family
protecting
members here anymore.
majority.
Because people like this who just ruin it. He's
Because
ruining it every
but they
single time.
know
He's even
that
ruining a
they
very good
could have either got the death
reputation of
penalty
the
for the
Sikh
Henry
community because
Novak
of his
case.
disgusting comments.
They could have
First and
done that.
foremost, what
And then
code
that
of
could have been a
conduct
bit of
says,
peace.
what are you talking about?
Like, it,
A code of
basically,
conduct says that
like I
you
said,
have to
basically
defend a
forgiveness now and
murderer?
justice has
Are
been
you
seen to
joking?
be done.
This goes back to what I've
Justice
been
has been
saying since
done
the beginning
to
of my
be served.
journalism, which is all
Because
cultures are
otherwise,
not the same.
forgiveness and
British
faith
culture
and
means if
all
you
this
hurt
peace
someone,
can
I
never
don't care
go
for
on
brothers and
unless
sisters, I don't
that
even care
is
for
seen to be
my
done.
uncle, you're gonna
Yeah.
get disowned from us. But these other cultures, they don't believe that it doesn't matter if you're a murderer, we have to defend you because that's part of our culture. That is not British
No.
culture, and I don't want any parts of that. And it's also not British culture to be carrying around weapons. Why is this weapon legal? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
I can't walk around with a pepper spray, but someone can walk around with a knife. And then I've
Offender of
seen
all
so many
faiths
comments
and
from Sikh people
religions.
saying, oh, it's just a ceremonial
Not federal people.
knife. But the person just confirmed, no, it's not. It's there to defend and protect yourself. Second thing I want to say is when did racism become this big deal that it's so worthy of killing somebody? When did somebody criticizing your race,
He
your
cares
skin
about
color,
the ideology,
features, something
keeping
that
the
you cannot
lines
control,
going, the corruption
meant it's
going.
worthy of you dying? When?
I know,
When I was
because
young,
that's the
you could
thing,
make fun
just
of
say
people's race.
based, I have thought about this, right? Sorry to interrupt, but I have thought about this, I'll let you come back, but I've thought about it because it's like, look, the judge says Henry Novak said nothing. He has seen all of that video. It was a total lie. If you listen to the full 999 call, it was very clear it was made up. But just say Henry had said something. Does that mean that according to the left, it's right that he was killed?
I don't get
hasn't
it.
said
I literally
anything.
do not get it.
Why
Maybe
won't
it's
they
because
show
I
the
went to a
proper
school
footage of it?
that was very multicultural.
Why
We all
won't they
made
show
fun
the
of
phone
each other.
call?
You know, they called us
The
black people, the
999
N-word,
call.
we call the Arabs terrorists,
Because
we
they
call
can,
white
they've done
people and
that
said you couldn't
before.
season your food. We
And
made
they can
fun
show
of
the
each other and
footage
it
of
was
the
funny.
leading up to the
But never
killing.
in a million years did anyone even get
And all of
angry to
that.
the point of even punching someone,
Well, they
let
can
alone killing
replay it
someone.
out
And what I call
and do
this
it
is
into a documentary,
indoctrination.
exactly.
This whole nonsense of critical
They don't
race
have
theory,
to actually play the
DEI,
film.
decolonizing the
But they
West,
can
just
give the
constantly
truth in the
pushing
documentary.
race down these children's throats. It's why they think it's so
Children's
important to the point where they want to take somebody's life. And the fact that this Bobby guy even said that we should piss on this guy's grave because of what? Because of a racial comment? And it's the same thing that we're seeing right now
And he
in
hasn't
America
done anything
with
racist,
is his name Carmelo Anthony? He
Bobby,
killed that young guy
that
from Austin.
Henry was
People can't even
innocent.
have compassion for
Okay,
the fact
Tommy
that Austin
Robinson
is now
might not
dead.
be,
A
I
young
don't
handsome
care,
guy
but
is dead
Henry was
because
an
of an angry
innocent
black
person,
thug who decided
innocent
to
young
stab him
boy,
on the chest
a young
over an
man.
argument over a chest.
He was
Sorry, a
innocent.
chair. This is
And
what
they
people tired of
stood
us. This is
there
why
and
people have
watched
the
him
most
die.
fatigue,
They
ethnic
could have
fatigue,
got an
fatigue, sorry,
ambulance
black
first
fatigue,
rather
Asian
than
fatigue,
the
because
police
we
first.
continuously show not only this violence towards white people, but we also have such a lack of
They
compassion.
could have
At the
realised that
end of
it's
it, we
done
don't care
wrong
to have any
and
compassion.
could
We
have
see
run an
people standing
ambulance.
outside of Carmelo Anthony's
no.
court case and saying that Austin's should. I'm finding it hard to even
I
say
would
the
say
words
the death
because I'm so
penalty.
shocked. But they're literally telling Austin's dad that Austin can burn in hell.
Yeah.
What has happened to the world that race has become this thing where we lack so much compassion even when someone is dead? I'm literally shaking speaking about this because I don't get it. People make racial comments about me all the time, but it's never caused me to want to kill somebody. I truly do not get it.
Would make
No, it's really bizarre.
Anybody's colour or race.
What is happening here in the United Kingdom after Henry Novak, after the attempted beheading bid in Belfast, is a massive political shake-up on the right. And even though the mainstream media were very convinced that all of these circumstances were likely to benefit Nigel Farage and Reform UK in the Makerfield by-election, actually those of us who have been following this split on the right know why Mr Farage has his head in his hands in Makerfield, because actually it's Rupert Lowe. And it's Restore Britain that is surging. And people within Reform UK are now even starting to talk about the unthinkable. Might Nigel Farage walk away before the next election? And there was certainly a hint at that in this bombshell interview, which is going viral today, between Mr Farage and LBC host Nick Ferrari. Watch this.
You know, we got £5 million or whatever it was.
Do you want to be Prime Minister? Do you know something that,
put his hand in his pocket and do it
not for the sake of the office or the title, because I couldn't give a damn about that.
About the grooming gang.
Nobody
You never
should
did.
have that.
So, you
For
know,
me,
you could have
politics
easily
is all
put
about-
Nigel
It's,
Fridge
it's,
in.
it's,
You could
it's
easily
not
put
about
a
what I
million
become in terms of a
in
personal
the pot
status. It's about
to
what I
start
can
the
do.
inquiry, but you didn't.
Right now,
Shame on you.
I believe
Get out. You're not.
I'm the
I
only
believe
person
you don't welcome either.
that's got sufficient
Out.
public rapport
I
and the
don't
courage
care.
to take
You are
on the
not being the next
establishment and
Prime
do what needs to be
Minister.
done.
That's
Right
why
now,
I'm
I'm the right
telling you.
person.
Right
May well be
now,
in a couple
you
of years'
are not
time or
being the
more,
next
somebody else
Prime
comes along
Minister
who's
Nigel
better
Farage.
equipped. Right now,
Walk
I
away.
do believe it's me.
Leave
So you
Rupert
could
Lowe,
be the
please,
Prime
to
Minister.
it. Please,
Yes. Did you see
Nigel
Pemberton
Farage.
Citizens' hands?
I see.
Again,
I see
something's
that
not right, is it?
God's spirit.
The mainstream
has gone
media are finally
within
picking up on the
Rupert Lowe.
sandcoats of Sly News.
And
Really, really
we've
odd
got
answer.
him.
Nigel Farage suggested in a
Please
couple of
open
years
the
there
door.
might be someone
Nigel
listed to
Farage,
PM. That's
please
quite
do the
possibly
right thing
before the
and
next
step back
election.
and let Rupert
Kevin
Lowe take the
Schofield,
lead.
another MSN journalist, it is very odd that the leader of a party that's been ahead in the polls
Thank
for nearly
you.
2
But
years can't
because
just say
you're-
yes
Nigel Farage
when
is
asked if he wants to be
ruining
Prime
it
Minister.
for Rupert
And the
Lowe.
Mail's columnist Dan
He's
Hodges,
not going to
Labour
win,
guy,
he's
but he's been right on
corrupted.
the story, says something
So
strange
no.
about Nigel Farage at the moment. That's
We
twice
want a
we've
start
seen the
again.
head-in-hands pose in the last
This
couple
is
of
why I am
days.
trying to
A lot
divert
of this
people
is
as
to do with
well. Everyone
polling
can be
in
congratulating
Makerfield.
other
Basil
people,
the
innocent
Great
people.
saying 2 weeks ago
Down
this
is
was
the
the poll in
legal or
Makerfield.
not
So Labour and
legal.
Andy Burnham was at 43%
Babble with the right
Reform
way
UK,
to
and
go
Robert
is
Kenya
what
at
I'm
40%,
saying. Right
Restore
way to
Britain
go
and Rebecca Shepherd
is
at
get the Buckingham
7%.
Palace
Today,
swarm,
in
Buckingham
the
Palace,
latest poll, this is a
thousands of millions of
leaked
people,
poll to the I
and
newspaper,
myself.
Burnham
On
is
that
at
day, I'm putting
35%,
that
Kenyan
back.
and Reform at 24%, Restore Britain at 13%, and as Basil the Great says, only one party gaining ground. Now, Rupert
And
Lowe
then
is increasingly confident,
we
writing
take
the
that
BBC
down.
and wider media are finally beginning to understand that
take
the level of
Westminster
support for
down.
Restore Britain is going to shape the
We
entire
take 1%
establishment
down and we'll
in
rebuild
Makerfield.
it.
And certainly this is an argument
We
that
can
is
have Elon
now
Musk to
starting
help.
to cut through. Listen to Hodges here.
Elon Musk. Elon
I think there is a
Musk.
restore element
Elon
there.
Musk.
I've been up there a
I'm
couple of
going to get a
times.
show fan. I'm
I
going to
still
make a
think
song for Elon Musk.
restore is going to potentially surprise a lot of
Elon
people with the level of support.
I
Because
don't know
what
moaning about
I'm
Elon
suggesting
Musk.
is there's
I'll
somewhere
tell you
between
what,
3 and
they're
7%.
all
You think it's higher than
I
that?
think it'd be high. I think it'd be higher.
Now, what's
Rupert Lowe
interesting
is
too,
not
and this
taking
is where we
dodgy
come back
money
to
off
Belfast
dodgy
this
back
week,
dealer.
and the attempted beheading
Right.
of Stephen
Yeah, Rupert
Ogilvie
Lowe
by
is
the
going to get
Sudanese scumbag.
a donation.
Everyone in the mainstream media thinks
All
immediately,
the
will this
above
benefit Nigel
of the right
Farage?
person
Not
for the right
necessarily, because what
reasons.
has been very effective among
And
the right
all for the
is this
people.
Restore Britain
It's a
campaign to make it
great
very
fit to
clear
build
that it
the
was
country.
Suella Braverman,
Because
who
we
was
are
Home
going
Secretary at the
to
time,
need it.
Robert Jenrick, who was Immigration
We
Minister
are.
at the time, when
Everything's
Hal
not done with
Hadid
magic.
was able to enter the
When
country
Rupert Lowe
and given
comes
leave
in,
to
when we get
remain.
him in,
Why?
Nigel
Why was he
Farage
given
fucks
leave to
off
remain?
and fuck off
And
now.
again,
Move
you know
on.
GB News, and I always talk about this as effectively
Because this
a
is Rupert Lowe.
restore-free zone. It is a pro-reform
Rupert
UK
Lowe.
zone.
This is
But
Rupert
when
Lowe.
Dan
We need
Hodges was
Rupert
given
Lowe in.
the ability to appear
We
on
did.
Michelle Dewberry's show, he
He's the one
directly
that
took
can
Layla
change
Cunningham,
all the files
the Reform
all
UK
these
mayoral
things that
candidate,
they've
on
done
over the issue, and it wasn't successful for
before
her
the
at all.
war with the royal
Remember,
family,
you've also
which
got
is
to
the
think
German
Cunningham
family, not the royal
was
family.
a Tory
The
at the
German
time
family.
as well. Watch.
Right, will be
Let's
changed,
test about this honest note debate.
'cause we'll
The
be
person
changing it.
who
What's wrong with this thing?
is alleged to have committed the appalling attack in Belfast was specifically let into this country and granted leave to remain
Yeah,
by
leave to
two of
remain,
your
they're not
Reform
remaining.
colleagues, Suella
They're
Braverman
not allowed to be
and
here.
Robert Jenrick.
So
So are you prepared, in this spirit of openness and honesty, are you prepared to condemn them for that decision?
I'm prepared happily to condemn the Conservative Party.
No, them specifically. Your two colleagues who were specifically responsible for making
I'm
that
not here
decision.
to defend
We
anyone's
are better
So you don't actually
I'm
want
not-
listen, you don't actually want them
I
out
want
do
to
you?
appreciate
By all
Elon
means.
Musk.
I condemn the
Good
Conservative
donation
Party.
from Elon
Okay,
Musk.
and I
But-
condemn
not
I
just a
condemn those that are
donation.
still within the
I don't
Conservative
want just a
Party
donation
trying to
from
gaslit
Elon
the
Musk. I
public.
want
Hang
Elon
on
Musk to
and
be
tell
part
them
of our
that the
parliament.
Conservative Party is
But
going to
why are you
Part
condemning,
of the
why are you
new
prepared to condemn
parliament,
people currently in the
The
Conservative
new
Party who
Westminster.
didn't take that
I want
decision?
Elon
But you're
Musk
not
to come and
prepared
build
to
a
condemn
new,
your
brand
colleagues who
new
actually took the
AI.
specific decision
Number
in
10,
relation to that individual.
all
That wasn't a
proper
failure,
built by
and if they were
AI.
responsible, it's a
The
failure
new
on
AI
them.
technology
But
system.
what they've
So it
done,
is a
that
failure.
wouldn't
That
be
was built.
I mean, to let that guy in, of course it's a
But
failure.
obviously,
So
for us to
you
do that
prepared prepared to
anyway.
condemn.
That
You just don't seem to be
idea
prepared to
I mean,
name.
condemn's a
We
strong
need
word.
to take the old
That's an impossible argument.
some of it.
And
I
she was
know.
a Tory, the
But
time as well.
They are historical
Now you've also got
buildings,
Ben
but
Habib
unfortunately,
pretty much coming
It is
close
the
to
way
throwing
God
his
wants
weight
us to
behind
have
Restore
country
Britain, announcing, I am looking forward to joining Rupert Lowe
I'm
in
still trying to
Makefield
restore some of the
on
land that is
Saturday.
still beautiful.
Do not listen to the gloomsters. Vote with your heart and mind. Reform offers nothing other than the same old. The country cannot be saved by those who broke it. See you there at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. And the Daily Mail is now in full-on meltdown mode, launching an MSM attack on Rupert Lowe this morning. How the many faces of Rupert Lowe
He's
get to
always
saddle
smiling.
Britain with the most left-wing PM in our
He's
history.
always
But my
smiling.
response to this was clear. At the last election,
I can see
the
his
Daily
eyes smiling. He's
Mail
got a
said you
smile
must
on his
vote
face.
for the failed Tories to keep
Yeah.
Reform UK out. Now they're saying in this bitchy article sourced by anonymous quotes from Isabel Oakeshott to vote Reform UK to keep Restore Britain out. Which makes me realise the Daily Mail is very much part of the mainstream media
Media.
containment,
I'm
along
glad
with
people
GB
have
News
been on
and Talk
mainstream
TV,
media
because
because
what
they can't
we
quite know
need
it now.
is real change.
They can't
Let's
quite
debate
know
this
it
now,
because he's
because my
not been on
superstar
there.
panel have differing views on the Reform UK versus Restore Britain argument, based and
Yes,
bougie and
I'm
stiff the
happy.
alternate. Based, you've been pretty tough on Restore in recent weeks. You are more following the Nigel Farage line here, which is that you think the fact that he won't throw out the likes of Steve Laws from the membership of the party, even though they don't have leadership roles in the party, makes you uncomfortable to support Restore. Is that right?
I've never said that.
What's your view?
My view on Restore is I think that they've done a deal with the Tories to stop reform. And I don't want to support a party who's just trying to stop another party. I want to support a party.
But Rupert has been here and has literally denied that based. It's like a Reform UK like conspiracy.
He's not lying.
Yeah, but Auntie
Rupert
George has
Lowe's
just
not
come out
lying,
with
love,
Beth
I'll
Ken
tell you
Bennett
that,
saying
I'll
that
tell
she
you that
has
from
an
the heart,
agreement or
my heart,
arrangement with
I'll
Rupert
tell
Lowe.
you
So
that
I'm quite
now
confused
with
to
God's
how
spirit
the
all
Tories
in me.
defecting
I
to
know
reform
he
is this big deal that everybody's
I
talking about
do
for
like
weeks
Kenny
and saying
Baker,
reform is Tory
I
2.0.
have said that
But
Kenny
Kenny
Baker
Baker's
should
not
come
saying
to
that
the
she has an
Restore
arrangement
Party,
with
join
Rupert Lowe.
Rupert
Nobody's
Lowe.
talking about that. I'm so sorry, I just
Right.
don't pick and choose
I
when
suppose
something
when
is right
Rupert
and when
Lowe
something
wins
is
to
wrong.
be the
You know, the
government,
Tories are
Prime
responsible
Minister,
for absolutely
Kelly
destroying
Baker
this
can
party.
join
And I don't see
Restore
why
Britain.
Rupert Lowe would have any
Because I
arrangement with
like
any
Kenny
party
Baker.
that completely destroyed this party. As this
I
country,
think
sorry,
she's
as
done
for
a
Robert
pretty,
Jenrick
I
and
feel
Suella
she's a
Braverman,
bit
the reason
slow,
why I
but I
give them
think
just a
she's
little
done a
bit of
pretty
grace
good job in
is
what she's
because they
been
fought
doing.
tooth and nail against the
And
Release
she's got him
Immigration
out
Bill.
And they
anyway, she's got
resigned.
all them old
Robert
Tories
Jenrick,
out,
he
which is
publicly
pretty
came
good.
out. I don't have the correct statistics, but it's somewhere on my Twitter basically trying to stop the
I was
immigration
going
of
to say out
Sudanese
from
migrants.
wet
So it was
life
him that was trying to prevent more
corruption
Sudanese
was.
migrants coming into the UK, and now people are blaming him for the
Although
Sudanese man
Kelly
who
Baker not, I'm
stabbed the
sorry,
person in Belfast.
I
This is
don't
what I
think
mean when I
she's
say
got
the
what Rupert
desperation
Lowe
to
has
try
got
to
to be the
attempt to
Prime
make
Minister.
reform look bad is actually pushing people
I
like
get
me more
that,
towards
but I
reform,
think
because
she would be
what I'm
very
seeing
good
online
at
is
joining
people just getting
Restore
angry
Britain
over everything.
Well,
Now
it's
Farage
not
puts his
totally
hand
true though
over
what you
head.
said, Base, because I actually spoke
As
about this on the
part
show
of Restore Britain.
last week. So I just want to
as
show
a
you
part of
this
the
because I don't know if you've
the
seen this.
Parliament.
Robert
Because
Jenrick,
we need to
this was
get
just
rid of
1
this old
month
power.
after the Vile
And how
Belfast
we're
attack
gonna
had
do that?
entered the UK.
We're
That was
gonna
September
burn it down to the fucking
2023.
ground.
He was actually
Not
asked
me.
in
Not asking
Parliament
violence.
on Hansard, so this
I
is
am
like
saying
official
as a
parliamentary
political,
answers, although it's a written
political,
answer rather than a verbal
that's
answer,
the
so
way
it's not
it's
on
got to be done.
video.
Yeah.
He said, the UK
Then,
is proud to have welcomed Sudanese
once all the
nationals through
sites
both
been
our
cleared,
UK resettlement scheme and
we're going
community
to build
sponsorship
a
in
new
2021 and
Westminster,
2022.
a new
And we also
parliament,
welcome eligible
all
Sudanese nationals
uncorrupted,
through our refugee family reunion route.
all
So look, I've been pretty
uncensored.
positive about Jenrick in the past too, but I don't think you can say that he was not responsible for this
And
Sudanese
that's how
migrant
we get all
entering.
these out.
Well, not entering the country, he entered the country because he came via Dublin.
Like you say,
But the
because
fact
they
that
got
he was
heard
given
earlier
leave to
on
remain for
about
5
all
years,
those people
that
stuff
was
trying to
a
build their
Conservative
army,
policy
men.
seemingly endorsed
Yeah,
here.
women can build
by
an
Robert
army as
Jenrick.
well.
Yeah, but keyword, he said
I
eligible
need to
Sudanese
go
migrants.
join
So
the
I read that as
army,
Sudanese
but
migrants who are
for women.
hardworking and who want
the
to
army,
contribute and who
for
come
women.
here legally, not someone who just comes and beheads someone.
Or
There's no
basically
proof
putting
of Robert
things
Jenrick
together.
saying that he's okay with these people coming to behead
Because we're the
people.
best
And
ones
there's
at
no
doing
proof of
that.
him saying that he's
Women.
happy with that
We're
attack.
better
So
at
there's proof of him
putting
saying
things
eligible
in
Sudanese
an
migrants,
order.
meaning people who come in and want to work hard
Putting these people
and
into an
contribute.
order.
And there's also proof of him also saying that he
Keeping
doesn't
them
want
in
mass Sudanese migrants.
Keeping them in order.
I wish I could put up the evidence, but I can't find it somewhere on my Twitter. But what I'm trying to say is Robert Jenrick, he fought tooth and nail against some of these silly migration policies. And can I also point out one thing? Robert Jenrick and Sowella are not the people sitting behind the desk and literally stamping all of the and ticking off all of the approving all of these migrants
No,
coming in.
not
It's
like
the civil
Robert
service that does that. So we're now blaming Robert and Sowella for something that the civil service was responsible for. Second of all, he came in through the EU
Yeah,
skeleton
no, but he
scheme.
allowed it.
That has nothing to do
You're
with Britain. That's
signed
the
it
EU
off
skeleton
for.
scheme. And
When
this
you're in that
scheme was
department and you
done
are
in
the head of that
1985.
department
Robert
in the
Jenrick is still in a
parliament,
government of one and
Right.
five.
then
So
it
you're really trying
becomes
to tell me that
you're
Robert
the
Jenrick
person that
and
signed
Sowella
that
government
off,
signed the deal when
that
they were
deal.
5 years old and 1 year old.
If it's
I
for
just want
gas,
I'm not a big fan of
electricity,
reform. I'm not even
education,
pro reform. I'm not a member of
health
reform. But it's
minister,
becoming a little bit too
whatever
forced now
is
for me.
all
And I'm
these
just someone where I just have
it
to
is
call
their
things out when
job
it's a little bit too
as
forced.
the
Like Nigel Farage puts his hand over his head and now everyone's saying, oh
Prime
my
Minister
gosh, you
MP
should
or
threaten by the
whoever.
sword. This is
It is
forced.
their
You're
job.
forcing it now. I would love if people would start,
He's the head
you know,
person of
actually
Labour.
attacking Nigel Farage over things that are
King
relevant
Charles
and
is the head
important. But
of the
so
country.
silly things
He's the
like
king of the
Nigel Farage
monarchy.
putting his hand over his
And he's
head,
not been the
or
monarchy.
Sowella and Robert being blamed for a man deciding to come
So
into
I'm
the
not
country
blaming
through the
anyone.
EU skeleton screen.
I'm
I don't know how to
blaming
pronounce
the
it, and
government.
stabbing someone
But
when it was
people
the
in
civil
there,
service that approved it. This is ridiculous, and I'm so
Ah.
sorry. I can't
part
sit
of
here and
it.
just sit here
no, but you
and nod my
can't
head
let's
just
say
because
that
everyone
because
else is
them
doing it.
people are part of
And
it.
I'm
I think that's
wrong
getting
in
into a bit
saying,
of
Base, that you
criticism
have a
because they're
that you
part
have a
and
problem with
parcel
Steve
in
Laws
what was
being a
going on in
member of
Conservative.
Restore Britain, because
When everyone was sat
I'm
down
pretty
at home
sure
locked up
Alex Phillips had
and we're still
maybe
locked up.
quoted you as saying that you felt quite scared about what you're seeing with some of the developments in the Restore Britain membership, but again, maybe I've got that wrong.
Yeah, when it comes to Steve Laws, I really do not like the guy just because he tried to expose my family online. So I will always have a problem with Steve Laws. You can disagree with me, you cannot like me, you can want me to be deported. But posting pictures of my family online, like you are literally one step away from being placed into a mental asylum. But in terms of people like Steve Laws and ethno-nationalists want to be a part of Restore, go ahead, I could care less. There's probably ethno-nationalists who are part of Reform or who are part of Advance. The reason why I'm put off Restore is because, for one, they're literally no different to Reform. The only difference between the two parties is Reform can win an election and Restore, I'm so sorry, they have a couple of years. Not only that, Restore, I'm so sorry, but I'm certain that they've done a deal with the Tories. I know people are going to say that's not true, but I think they have. If someone's
He's
telling
done a
you they have
deal
an
with Elon
arrangement,
Musk.
that's
so
close to them having
you
an
see,
agreement.
he's not doing a
And you
deal
shouldn't
with
be
any
having
of them
any
apart
agreement
from
with the
Elon
party that
Musk.
destroyed your country.
So
But
that's
not
where
only
you're
that, but I
all
just feel
wrong.
like Rupert Lowe, he
Rupert
backtracks a
Lowe,
lot.
the only
One minute he
person
says
he's
he
doing
wants
a
to
deal
deport
with
all
is
people.
Elon Musk.
The next minute he's saying he doesn't want to deport all
And I'm
people.
telling him
I think
that.
he's
He's
just
not going to
behaved as
deport everybody.
Nigel Farage. He's backtracked. He doesn't attend UTK. He disavows his own supporters. Like that girl's speech that they cancelled. They're literally no different. The only difference is one can win an election and the other one doesn't. And I'm so sorry, it's country first for me, always. And if two parties are parallel, I'm going to go for the
So
party
you
that
would
can
vote
actually
for Reform UK in Makerfield as a strategic vote because you think there's more chance of reform?
I'm
100%.
voting Rupert Lowe.
100%. I would vote for Reform
100%.
if I was in Makerfield. 100%.
If I
Because
was in
if not, that
Makerfield.
means Labour will win. And I just can't
Very
grasp
so
why
don't
people
like
can't
horses.
see that. Why would you want Labour? Not only that, we all know Andy Burnham has plans to actually become the Prime Minister. So we're all finished. So it comes to a point where we have to put our personal grievances aside. We have to put our frustration over the
No,
fact
I don't
that
like
Rupert
Nigel
Lowe got
Farage.
his
I don't
guns
trust
taken
him.
away and
It's
put the
not
country
about
first.
the
I could
Reform
care less
Party.
about
They
Steph,
could
how do you
Nigel
respond to
Farage
that
after
argument?
losing the plot. You see, if Nigel
Which
Farage
part?
dropped out
Many
of
arguments
Reform,
have been
let
raised,
Rupert Lowe take
down-
over
Well,
Reform in the first
specifically,
place.
I guess the point that the Mail is
Because he's
making
like,
and that
no, I'm sorry, I don't
Base
trust
is
once you're a
making,
liar,
which
always
is
a liar.
that Rupert Lowe
Once you're a con,
could
you're always
end
a
up
kidder and a con.
making Andy
can't pick a
Burnham
kidder and a
Prime
con
Minister.
unless
That's
you're
the
a con.
sort of argument that I'm making. I would just say, as a counter argument, well, Reform
Exactly,
UK,
Thomas
then you
Clancy
could say
and
make
Mary
Keir Starmer
Clinton.
Prime Minister.
You're
Like,
not kidding,
you know, you
either.
sort of have to run in elections. But what's your response, Steph? Would you vote for Restore or Reform in
Restore
Makerfield?
Britain.
Restore.
100%.
Restore Britain all day long. And ultimately,
Because of what
maybe
Nigel
I'm being
did.
a little bit naive here in what I'm saying, but ultimately it's the voters that are gonna either allow Andy Burnham to win or not. It's as simple as that, really. It comes down to the voting ballot. Now, going originally to, Robert Jenrick and Suella Braverman, and them allowing this Sudanese monster to come into the country, when Robert Jenrick turns around and says, eligible, Sudanese immigrants
Yeah,
are
they're
allowed
not
in this, that, and the
eligible. They're
other.
not allowed here.
Okay, eligible.
No.
Fine, I get that. But how was this monster eligible to not only be able to come into this country and be allowed to stay, but come in under the fast track scheme? Where was the eligibility checks then
Where's
for him
our
to be
human
fast tracked
rights?
to come into this
To not be
country?
slaughtered.
Now, when it
And they
comes
give a wrong
to
picture
another
there as
main
well, aren't they? It's a
point that
completely
Based and
different drawings
Bougie
of the
presented,
person, not
quite
just
well
seeing
and
the picture.
eloquently, may I add, which was,
So the
you
drawing is
know,
incorrect.
this whole thing about, making deals with parties, this, that, and the
Unless
other.
he shaved his head. Oh no, he shaved his head.
Rupert Lowe has
Oh, he
been
had hair, so he shaved his
absolutely,
head.
completely transparent and honest when
So
he
he looked
says
hard.
it doesn't matter what party a politician is from, this, that, and the other. It's country above party lines first and foremost. He is willing
He's
to
the only one
work
that's dealt with the
with,
groom
he is
gangs.
willing
He's the
to
only one
work
that's
with
bought in
any politician,
properly.
regardless
He's
of the
the only one
party.
that's starved
If
off.
Based,
they
you,
are,
what
Nigel
you just
Farage,
read there, Base?
when Nigel
I
Farage
disagree
talks to
because where was
Starbucks,
this energy to
Starbucks
manage advance
mocked
UK?
him.
Where was this energy to not go to
and
the
the only
Daily
time the
Mail
Star
and
is
snitch on
telling
his
when he's talking about
reform
Nigel Farage.
colleagues when he went to the Daily Mail talking
Because he
about
can't
it whilst he
stand
was a part of
Nigel
the
Farage.
party?
His
He's no
down
team
can't stand
member.
it because
What
basically
team
he's got
member goes to
barrel
the
over
Daily
it.
Mail?
Because
It's
it's
like
basically
me working with
corrupted.
you guys and then going
It's
to the Daily Mail
frauded
and
with the
speaking to you
tax
guys.
and he's
But
had
people
that
forget that
money
part of the story.
of
And not
who
only that, if he was
dodgy
such a
back
teammate, he
deals
would have
again.
married with Advance UK.
Yeah, don't trust
He left
him.
Benedict
He's had
County.
dodgy that money
But
off
sorry,
dodgy
I'll
deals.
let
It's
you
like
think
King
have your
Charles.
point. Sorry about
No,
that.
it's the same
no,
thing.
no problem.
Hang on, this
But just to finish my point,
Nigel
he
Farage
has
is
been absolutely
not
transparent
talking
and
about
honest when he
that
says
now.
that regardless of party
Yeah.
lines, he will work with any politician
He's
that
broke
would
that
want to work
stuff now.
towards the same ends as him. As he has
And he ain't gonna send
demonstrated
it
with
little
the
libraries
privately
home.
funded rape gang
And sort the
inquiry,
country out.
where the
Rupert
report is
Lowe
going to
is-
be coming out only in a
Rupert
matter
Lowe
of
is gonna
weeks
be-
now.
Yes, and I've
The-
spoken to
the
Rupert
Donald
about that
Trump
today,
that
by
we
the
need.
way, and it is
We
possible
need
that
our
we
own
will
Donald
get
Trump.
that rape
Yeah,
gang
we need
inquiry
our own
report
Donald
released
Trump.
next week. He believes it's going to rock
And this
rock the
person
foundations
is
of this
10 times
country.
better than
No
Donald
doubt.
Trump.
No doubt. I mean, some of the revelations that came out during the inquiry
better than Donald Trump.
rocked
Rupert
the
Lowe
internet. I mean,
is
not
either
mainstream
gonna
media
s-
because it's
Rupert
mainstream
Lowe
media.
is either
You're
gonna
right.
come in,
Real
be the
real
Prime
deal in
Minister,
terms
and
of
he's
what was
gonna
being
show
reported and what was
Donald
being
Trump
said by the
exactly how it's
victims.
done.
It definitely
Let me tell
rocked
you.
all of us,
He's
right?
gonna rock
And,
Donald Trump.
you
Rupert
know,
Lowe. He will.
Getting back to it, in
And
terms
if he
of,
can
well,
do that, if he can rock over
reform
Donald Trump, then that's
Britain
saying
isn't
something.
really, a effective opposition, an effective party to be able to win this, that, and the other. Well, let's put it this way. After only a few months, it's got over 100,000 paying members. In Makerfield, as Dan Rutan showed with the statistics, the only party that's actually gaining any ground on Makerfield in terms of, voting intention is Restore Britain.
Yes, and I do just have to say, by the way, very quickly, we are live for this historic election night. It is our
Thank you very
first
much for that.
independent election night coverage here on Outspoken. I hope both of you two will call in if you're up late, Based and Steph, because we're going to be live from 10 p.m. this Thursday night. You can't trust the mainstream media, to be honest with you, about what this by-election really means, so I really do hope you join us. Breaking today, the tensions in the disunited kingdom continue to reach boiling point as King Charles was heckled both over Henry Novak and that
Because he
case,
thinks they are proud,
the
which I've been
fact
saying
that
thank you.
illegals should be deported from this country,
Yeah, and he's involved.
and even about slippery Starmer, our Prime Minister's
Because he went to do
bunker
a
government.
speech
which is destroying our country.
Shit.
Now, these extraordinary scenes, again, they've pretty much been totally covered up by the mainstream media, so I'm going to bring them to you, occurred during the King's engagements in Grimsby, North East Lincolnshire, where he was visiting local community projects and groups. Watch.
His own Parliament! Get Keir Starmer out! Say his name! Erin Novak! We want Keir out! Stop the boats! Got illegals deported! How's our homeless space? How's our homeless space? Get him out! His own Parliament! Get him out!
Now, as you all know, because we've covered it here on Outspoken, there is growing pressure on Prince William to back a campaign being led by the BBC presenter Jeff Banks for there to be a minute's silence for Henry Novak before the England football team's first game at the FIFA World Cup. That incident did mar what was a happy day for King Charles, with royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz, writing, "The King has been so happy lately. I definitely think he's feeling better. He just looks brighter and full of life." At the same time, William, the Prince of Wales, was in Norfolk for a very emotional visit, actually. First, he spoke to an elderly man through a window, and it really was very touching.
Very nice to see you. How's everyone? Good. Chose a really rubbish day to see this outside.
I do like
It must have been off
William.
inside there.
I hope to God that William is not
Sorry,
in
let's see.
change like King Charles.
Do you like my-
Please. That's from Diana.
We're wearing the same colour jacket.
Because I like
Good fashion choice.
And
Prince
we-
William,
and
I was
he's brilliant.
inspired,
We need
obviously.
William to be the king.
There was another beautiful
need
moment where I
the
think
king.
William did show why he is going to be such a great
And the right
leader of
king that
people.
belongs to
This
our
is when he
island.
stepped in to comfort a businessman who
This
was
is
fighting
his-
back tears as he opened
Prince
up
William,
about
the
his
first
PTSD
monarchy that belongs
diagnosis.
to the
Watch.
British island. 'Cause
These guys are amazing.
Yeah.
the British DNA
I have to say, they've
in
been
a long time. And if King Charles has ruined that, then this is from Diana.
Take your time on that.
Hell will let leash
Lots
on
of what
him.
you already said.
Sure.
But
On King Charles.
it's been,
for it.
what I noticed was post-COVID, was there was a lot of isolation going on.
Yes.
People stopped really talking to you about it, and I felt that was a bit of a nod to say, well, can you do something about it? And this has been a pilot project to understand what's the need, what's the challenges in the rural community,
Yes.
how do we replicate something like this across the whole UK.
Very isolated up here by family and elsewhere, and yeah, it's been very useful. And,
Well, that's what we
I had
went through, and
PTSD
what a
issues
king that you
which
can look up to.
have really, really
respect.
come back to.
And the king
That's
don't
one
have
thing.
to, well,
And
there's
how did
still
you
on
do
bodyguards,
this
but
wasn't here?
they don't have to be protected because
I
they
think
can walk
things would
among
have been
the
very
people.
Yeah, I
The
was in
king
a very
should be
dark
able
place
to
at the time,
walking
had a
among
very great
people,
life, and
with
then
the
fell
people.
apart.
Royal YouTuber Steph the Alternerd joins me
Oh.
alongside social media conservative
See, and
base
I've been
and
talking about
bougie.
royal family.
Steph,
Here
look, a
we have
wonderful
it.
moment there with Prince William, but
So
I guess
they're
more
listening,
concerned for the
getting
British
out,
royal family in
Grandad.
terms of this heckling of
Slowly,
King Charles.
yeah.
That is something the palace
Well,
obviously desperate to avoid, but probably
I'm
not a
not
surprise given the
advocating for
increasing
violence,
tensions
but
in the UK
it's gotta
over the
be
past
told.
week. The royal family tend
It's
to
gotta
try
be
and stay
told.
out of
It's
political
gotta get
moments,
out.
so we've heard
Have
nothing
you
from
seen
the
what it's
king
got?
on the case of Henry
Ah.
Novak or Stephen Ogilvie. Can that position really hold,
Don't
Steph?
speak really nicely.
Not at
3
all.
months ago.
King Charles
But anyway, just sticking
is, you know, the head of Parliament. It is
Head
his
of Parliament.
His Majesty's
That clear.
government. And so
And he's
to
not
have
doing
that
his job.
title and for the royal family to try and divorce themselves from what's going on in everyday British people's
And
lives politically,
Create
it's
Oxford
getting
University
more
for
impossible now
Islam and
for the royal
charity
family
funds
to do at this point
dodgy money
because
from
his
Saudi
loyal subjects
Arabia,
are
Qatar,
asking
Dubai.
the king to do something about
No,
it, which
and
he
the
can.
Epstein files, and
Which he can.
Jimmy Savile's files.
I
Hitler
think,
is
unfortunately,
German.
this is
He's
for
the
me
wrong island.
a rare instance
get out.
where the
Leave.
king is making a really, really big mistake here.
Yeah.
by
allowing
not
Islam in
addressing
the Church of
the
England.
political upheaval
Yeah.
and the everyday political struggles that people are facing here in this country. It's as if it's like, no, business as usual, we carry on. But unfortunately, it's not business as usual. And his loyal subjects are turning to him for his leadership as king. And it's his parliament to try and do something about it in his
after
own capacity,
war.
in his own power. And
That there wasn't going to be
you
another
know,
war.
people I think are getting more
He's
frustrated
breaking the
because
agreement.
we feel
The
ignored not
treaty.
only by the political
They
class
signed
but
another treaty. They're
by
lying.
the head
See?
of government himself, King Charles.
not-
I appreciate, you know,
English
he's
is not
still going through
British.
his health issues at the
Good.
moment, the chemotherapy, the cancer and all
He's
that,
given me
but
cancer as well.
he needs to do something
Maybe
now.
somebody
And
other
I would
people have had
liken
the
this
injection.
to, you know, Queen
Please.
Elizabeth II and, you know, her waiting like
evil.
8 days before addressing the Aberfan mining
Can't come
village
out and say a
tragedy.
flipping prayer
I
for
think for King
Henry.
Charles, this is respectfully, I would say, the modern equivalent of that.
disrespectful of Queen
Base, do you
Elizabeth
agree?
as well.
Should King Charles speak out?
Yes.
Absolutely, he must speak out because this is his people. You know, I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but they definitely spoke out during George Floyd. So why not
Well,
Yeah,
speak
women
and
out?
I've
Catherine
said that, and
did
he won't speak
in a
out for
sort of
Henry,
roundabout
and I
way,
am correct.
yes.
Because he's changed
Yes,
his
But
religion, he
they
can't
have to,
speak to
because
God,
this is one
he
of
can't
the
pray
biggest
to
and most
God,
pivotal moments
because he's praying
in
to
political
Allah,
history.
the
And
Quran.
it's definitely symbolic of just how much multiculturalism is not working, but I doubt they are going to do
And
that
he's
because
the one
as we've
that's
seen with
ruined all
King
the
Charles and his
multiculturalism and
parading
the
of
race
Islam,
and
they're not going to
Hitler
go
and
against the
everything else.
multiculturalism plan and the mass migration plan.
Because they've been
They're gonna
lying,
drive
the
the
Goffer
middle line.
family,
I
they're
do
from
not know.
Germany.
But I
He's
think
not
he definitely
British,
has a
he's
duty
not
to say something.
British.
They speak about so many other tragic events that have happened. Why not this one? But something tells me they're not going to do it, which is quite
Now we can
upsetting.
leave then.
Yeah,
Therefore,
indeed.
we'll
Based
take
and
it.
bougie, Steph the
Poltergeist.
Alternerd, our fabulous conservative social media sensations.
Now,
Make sure you follow them
Mess
on
around,
YouTube.
you've got your
in particular
You're
for their
starting to get
amazing work, but of course they're
proper
also
data
all
information
over
now,
X
aren't
and
you?
TikTok and Instagram as
Yeah,
well. I see you
proper
there on
data
Instagram based all the
information
time
by me.
searching. So great to have
Elon
both of you
Musk
here
would be
today.
quite
Hope to see you
proud
on
of me.
election night as well.
Elon
And now I'm going to
Musk.
reveal today's
We need Elon
worst
Musk. Oh,
Britain in the
Elon
world
Musk.
this week. This is where we put
We
your
can't have
Union
Donald
Jack as
Trump,
winners
but
from
I'll
across the
be
week head to head.
DJ
On
Vance
Monday, it was
Steve
Calamity
saying
Larry, the
America.
Deputy Prime Minister.
We need
Tuesday,
Elon
Mad
Musk.
Miliband, the Environment Secretary. Wednesday,
Definitely.
Gary Neville. Thursday, the Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper. Lots of feedback on this. We've had over 50,000 votes. You guys are incredible. Adrian Hatchett, 2851 says Ed Miliband. The defence budget needs filling,
Because
and he is
the new
refusing to scrap the
technology
net zero
of the
targets to
world,
defend the
let's
country.
face
These millionaires live in
We're
a
not
different
going to get
reality.
away from
Stephen
it.
Fuller said
It's
Gary
from it.
Neville,
It is going to
FFS,
be
events
AI.
David Lammy.
And to be quite honest with you, I'd like to get
Oh my
into
god,
that
that's saying something if you've seen
picture of
Lammy and
AI
Mastermind.
and the beauty of it.
Adam
The beauty of proper
SD2OW says Gary
Instead of
Neville already ruining the World
chopping
Cup
someone's
footage with his
head off,
fake
right?
outrage. User IQ407
Yeah,
says,
all
when is
the
Yvette
football
Cooper going to start her
get out,
fundraising for
football,
Prince Harry's
football.
security? The taxpayers don't want to pay it. Amen
Never
for that, and I
go back
really
to
hope we don't
England
have
when
to.
King Charles
Posty
gets out.
Pistol Pete 1985 says they are all
So,
valid,
well,
but Ed Miliband is net zero
yeah,
us
he
all
will
into
be
poverty.
paid for the,
Ethiopia will be organising
security when
fundraising
King Charles
concerts
gets
for
out
us
and he goes
soon.
back
Oh
to
my
the
god,
island
I'm
and
sorry
he's
to laugh,
entitled
but it's
to
a
the
terrifying
Beyonce
prospect. Side
But
Control 123
unfortunately,
for
he
David
Prince
Met,
Meghan
Hero
and wherever
Cervix
she
Salami, Paul B 17110 agrees, says Lammy
She's
has
not
that
allowed.
permanent indent on the bridge of his
Sorry,
nose
she's
from
banned.
spending his life frowning with confusion.
Oh,
And
David
Praying Mantis
fucking
Manta says
Gilmore.
Lammy made himself look stupid.
We're
Phony
gonna
Jay
be
Vance
like
saying he don't have a problem with
you,
migrants.
you'd
Only to have a
like
beheading
him,
almost the
like
next day by a migrant. That is the comment of the week. And thank you so much for your votes. As I say, over 50,000 of you have voted, and I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't close. In fourth position with 5% of the vote, Yvette Cooper. In third position with 11% of the vote, Gary Neville. The runner-up with 23% of the vote, Ed Miliband. But the worst Briton in the world this week with an overwhelming 61% of your vote, Calamity Lammy. Okay, Lady Colin Campbell is standing by. We're going to go and speak to her right now on
see, don't
Substack
do
about
it.
all of the royal
We know
news of the
that
week
you
ahead of
do.
Trooping the Colour tomorrow. You can join us there at
Stop crying, Ali.
www.outspoken.live. I
Get
hope
your
you have a
ass
peaceful
back to
weekend.
London.
It has been a difficult one,
Drop that
hasn't it, this
where-
week?
keep
It's
that
felt
where it
heavy.
is.
I've heard from a lot of you, this has
Sorry,
felt heavy
put
this
that
week.
back the way
But
it is.
thank you for your company. I think we've got
thank
through
you
this one
very
together.
much.
We're going to have to keep getting through these terrible scenes
I
together.
know.
We would.
We're on bad tea. Oh, what's it me? So dreadful. Oh God, what's happened now? Here we go. Another stabbing. Another bloody murder. Another bloody murder. Yeah. Another murder. Another
It's only been 12 hours when I was sitting on this chair reporting to you about a stab that took place up here in the north, where a young girl, 17-year-old, being stabbed twice in the neck. I reported to you that. Very horrific. Well, it looks like I need to sit back on that same very chair and report to you about a stab that just happened down south in London, folks. A 21-year-old man dead. It's insane. It's crazy. It looks like maybe I should remain on my seat, as there will be stabbing almost every 12 hours or maybe
Because I tell
every
you
single
what,
day.
that's why they've got 700 or
Because this is
757
what Britain
body
has to
bags. That's why they got all
where
the body bags.
21-year-olds will be stabbed in the park. Man, 21 dead after broad daylight attack in a busy Chelmsford Park as murder probe as a murder probe launched.
How do you see what I'm saying,
21-year-old
AI?
has
When I used to
died
go out and
after a
keep
broad
fit and
daylight
healthy
attack
by
in
walking
Central
around
Park,
the park,
Chelmsford, with police making
now I
free
can't
arrests
walk
on
around the
suspicion
park because
of
there's men in there
murder.
that's stabbing each other.
This is where we are,
Thank you.
folks.
Because I'm a woman on my own, so it's not.
It's insane. These are everyday reporting. And if I read you the article, folks, which I will, I got a lot of videos. Folks. I don't know why I always find these videos. There's always somebody recording, right? There's always somebody recording. And I've got those videos I'm gonna play to you, folks. So do bear that in mind. It might. I don't know how it's gonna make you feel, but just warning. But not just the video itself, but the article is just so insane. If you read the article and you get to know who did this, what the age of people who did this, and you're thinking,
I kind of noticed this one.
Wow,
I've been saying
what
this
is
for a long
happening?
time. All these
what the heck
fucking
is happening?
weirdos that are like that.
These are not.
They don't
this
want to
is
go
the
and
type
take
of
King
people
Charles
there
out,
taking
though,
over
do
people's
they?
lives. What do they know about life to be able to be taken?
Yeah,
Have they
that's
even ever created life?
They haven't created anything.
Because when
yet.
you read this article, folks, I think let's get into it straight away.
It's like young
Let's
teens
get
doing
into
it, teenagers.
If of course,
Now,
if you think my
because they've
report is
created
good
it.
and you haven't subscribed, then of course
They've
you can
created
watch and
hatred
sub
on
and
every
like
person
and
each.
comment. But if not, then of course you can carry on and find
So
somebody
nobody
else.
can love each
But the
other.
goal is to give you the information.
Because that's the
Right, let's get
devil,
into
hell,
this.
poltergeist.
Man, 21 dead after a broad daylight attack in a busy Chelmsford Park as murder probe launched. So
Who knows
a
what
murder
they're
investigation
doing?
has been launched, and 3 teens arrested after a 21-year-old man.
So I'm not
was
safe,
fatally-
I'm correct.
was fatally attacked
No,
in
not
Essex
that I'm
Park,
safe,
in
unsafe right
Essex
now.
Park.
Well, I'm
Emergency
not
services
safe to go
rushed
out and
Central
home or
Park
do
at around
anything. I'll say
7 p.m. on
anything.
Friday, following reports of assault, police found a man with serious injuries who, despite desperate effort from emergency service, died at the scene. 3 boys, now listen to this, 3 boys, 14, 17, and 18, all from Chelmsford, remain in police
They're
custody
not
for
from
questioning
Chelmsford.
on
What do they
suspicion
look like?
of
They're not
murder.
from Chelmsford.
That is insane.
No, their families are not from Chelmsford.
14,
They're not
17,
English. Are they English
18-year-old
white? Are they white?
guys,
Are they
young
British
boys.
white?
Apparently, allegedly,
But why would they say British
well, they
white?
are in police custody being questioned. 14-year-old guy.
Because they're underage, they won't tell us now,
14,
won't they?
17, 18.
Isn't
allegedly
it?
in
Now
this
that's
case,
what they're doing now. They're
they're the
sending
ones
kids
that are
now so they don't have to tell us the description of the
in
people.
taking another young person's
Well,
life.
you will have to.
It's crazy.
You
It's
still have
insane.
to.
Before we carry on reading this article, I want to show you the police presence in the area.
Because one of them's overage.
Yeah, heavy police presence, of course. some locals were able to capture
So
some
now it's
footage
getting like
that they will
Sweden, innit, where
put
they're all
online and we were able
turned
to
from
grab it.
adults
Watch
into
this, folks.
kids doing it.
Yeah, I've got pictures of kids and things like that.
Because then the police can
Yeah, so
hide
that
it all a
is
bit
the
better.
police in the area.
The
This is
government.
the police in the park.
They
Watch.
can hide their identity. Just like
That
King
is the
Charles has
police in
been
the
doing
park.
all
Is
his
another
life.
one. This is also the police at the park after
Lying
everything was
about his
caught on
own
watch.
identity. And that's why he's turned it on everybody else, and that's why
So
he's
there is
evil, the
a
devil,
heavy police
poltergeist.
presence in the area for sure. Now I got a video which shows the faces of these
But these
individuals.
fucking
We're
people
gonna play
don't
that
go
later
out and
on.
do King Charles, do they?
But let's carry on with this article here. Let's go back to the
These radicalised people.
article, as of course we need to
They're
read
that
this to
fucking
give us
scary,
more context.
radicalised.
So the police,
Can't do much
as the
about
police
them,
read,
pretend.
have made a statement, and it reads. This is what the statement says.
No, you
A murder
horrible cat.
investigation has been launched and 3 arrests made following
It'll
a
do it
virtual
because it knows how to sat
assault
down and start
in
eating.
Central Park, Chelmsford. Okay. We were called by the ambulance service to report an assault in the area at around 7 p.m. on Friday, 12 June. Officers arrived within minutes and found a 21-year-old man with critical injury. Despite the best efforts of emergency services, he was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. His family has been informed and continue to receive support.
21-year-old, they
from
probably
specialist
killed him, mate. Where's the body footage?
trained officers.
We want the body camera.
Inquiries began
We want
immediately and
cameras,
quickly
we
led
want
officers
photos, we
to
want
an address.
pictures.
Wow, that is really good. Shout out to the people who actually made these inquiry. To an address, arrests were made and search activity is continuing. 3 boys aged
Where they
14,
from?
17, and
They're not
18.
English, not
This
white.
is wow.
They're
These
not
are
English,
small.
white boys.
These are guys
I know
still in
them.
college. What do they know about life? But now apparently they know so much that they can take one.
They're
Crazy.
Well, the families
All
are
from Chelmsford
illegal.
remain in custody for questioning
Yeah,
on
they've been
suspicion
barred.
of murder. Senior
But that
investigator
doesn't mean they're doing
Lydia
anything
George
here.
said, quote, the force has made significant
So they can
progress
be
with
deported with
with
the
the
family.
investigation and is appealing for
If the
anyone with
family's not
information to
born
get in
here,
touch.
if their
She
mother
said,
and
quote,
father ain't
this
born
is
here,
deeply
they're
distressing. This is a deeply distressing
With the
incident.
family.
The family is grieving
Yep.
and our thoughts remain firmly with them at
Now they
this
kill someone else,
incredible,
now.
difficult time. I would call on the public and the media to please
And who
respect
is
the
the man-
privacies
what
as we
nationality
continue
is
the
the man
early
that's died?
stage of this investigation. We are determined to get them answered and build as clear
Whatever.
a picture
I
as
report.
possible of the
We
circumstances
say it all the
surrounding
time.
what has happened. And then she carries on. The
We know
statement
what's
carries on.
happened. There's been
We've
another
already
man
made
who's happened.
significant
Someone else is
progress in
dead.
our investigation, including making 3 arrests.
That's exactly what we know.
We
And
can
they won't say
confirm
anything different.
that we are not currently seeking anyone else in connection with this incident, and
Are you
there
sure? They've been saying
and
that
there is
all
no
this time.
risk to the public. How do you know?
But they've been keep saying this,
Thanks for
don't
you
they?
to
There's no more
clarify
risk to the
that, though.
public, but then
And
somebody else
she
gets
finished
stabbed.
off with I'll finish it. She carried on. The statement carried on.
Well, King Charles
This took
ain't
place in a
welcome
busy
either.
public area. I mean, yeah. It's a
Whereas the
park.
radicalised one's not
A lot of
doing
people
him in.
attend.
Not
Well,
wrong.
we already receive valuable assistance from the public.
And
We
notice
continue to
these
appeal for
things seem
information,
to
even the
be catching
smallest
things
detail
out.
could prove crucial.
And not going
she
near them.
finishes
Well,
off
they're
with, I
building
understand there
anything
is
else.
a strong desire for more information. Well,
Yeah,
urge
why
people
not?
not to speculate, as this can cause additional distress to
Why
those
are they
affected
not going
and
and
may
doing that?
impact our
Why are they
investigation.
doing innocent people?
Officers
Because
will
they've been
remain
sent
in
by the
Chelmsford,
government.
Chelmsford area
These
over
are
the
the
coming days
sleeper
to
cells
provide
waking
reassurance
up,
and support to the
killing
community.
people.
Well, this is what we are for. So now let's play this video from the
Although
address
they've
that
woken up for a
they
while.
went to, and apparently this is where
Well,
they
We didn't
arrested
see
these
that
boys.
before.
Oh man, 14, 17,
But I'm
18
gonna say
year
now
olds
we've got a
going
massive
out and
pattern
taking a 21-year-old's
people
life. It's
being
crazy.
stabbed.
It's insane.
And definitely within
Watch.
the past 2 years.
Here's the video.
Since Labour have been in,
Apparently
we've had
that is
nothing
the
but
arrest. That
stabbings.
is the person. You
Well,
can
since
see
the
so
Labour
much police
government's been in, we've
presence
had
in the
nothing
area,
but
so
killings and
much.
stabbings. I don't remember this
Police
about stabbings
presence.
with Unat. When he was Prime Minister, I mean,
Young
the was a bit of a
boys,
flip, but
folks.
still.
Young freaking boys. I don't know why young boys be doing
And a
this.
lot
I
white
don't
boys,
get
they're
it.
not English, I don't think.
I don't get it. Like,
I don't think they're English.
why are you so insecure? Like, to be going
not
around
English
walking
at
around
all.
with knives? Like, you don't need that. Keep it. Leave it at home.
This is why I
Leave your
can't go
mom's-
outside.
Your mom's
Can't
knife
go
at
to the
home.
park, can I?
And not just the
I
knife
can't go
that they
for a
carry
walk,
as well.
right?
It's like, where did you
Where?
find that, bro? Like, where did you get that kind of knife? It's like a big, maybe
Because they could
long,
be anywhere.
sharp as fuck. It's not a knife that you use in the kitchen.
No.
It's literally the knife that you probably go like hunting with or something. But
It's a knife
but
what you battle with.
just like, where did you get that, bro? You're 17-year-old. How the fuck did you get your hand on this knife?
Mm.
Hey, like, you're 14. How
Because
the
you're not
did you
English.
get your hand on
Not
this
English white kid, is it?
this
It's a
flipping
foreigner.
object?
Belongs to foreigners.
And the sad thing is that it's normal now because
And they were probably legally imported.
because a lot of young boys carry knives
And that's
now.
why the
It's
fucking
like
kids
it's,
don't
it's,
know where
like
they
a,
are.
it's like a British culture now. I think we
Yeah.
should add that into
Oh.
our British culture,
Yeah.
the
Nice.
system where people. I mean, yeah, I know it might be a joke and
Well,
stuff.
what's right?
Okay, all fun and joke, but if it's happening
Nothing
every day, I
joke.
guess it's a part of us now. We're
It's a
young boys.
scary fucking mover.
Primary school. Did you hear the story early this week? I forgot to report
A
to it
young
because there's so
girl
many
stabbed
things
someone.
happening with the story in Belfast. But there was a
And she
stabbing
wasn't English
in
either.
school. 3 kids got stabbed. A young
Yeah.
person in the school
And
carried
she
a
stabbed
knife
the
to
white
stab
girl
3
up
people.
there. Because the
In
one
the
English.
freaking school, folks. You're meant to be learning Macbeth or maybe, Romeo and Juliet or something. Meant to be learning maths.
Kissing your
Or
boyfriend.
whatever, science, biology, whatever that needs to,
I'm gonna say
whatever you
that
need
you
to
get
know about it.
boyfriends.
But no, somebody's there to stab people, and it's normal.
And things
Now
like that.
it is actually normal now. Where primary school now, not just high school.
No.
High school where you got
Primary school
from
gets
like
stabbed up
11,
my little
12
girl's
to
neck.
like 16.
Great.
That is still young. But
You
now
can
we
give her
have
back to me,
primary
we can
school
leave.
where like 10-year-old
Pedo
8,
services
9.
have took my little girl to
also
damage
think
her.
it's okay
I know they have.
to carry knives. There was a primary school near my where my cousins
She
go.
doesn't need to go to school.
My cousin goes to this primary school. I remember the school was closed. My brother called me, telling me about it, and I was like, "Wait, so my nephew couldn't go to
Right,
school
I'm
because
willing
some
to leave. I'm
other
willing
kid
to sleep.
brought in a knife." And I was like,
I'm willing to
"Damn,
leave. I'm living with
that
me,
is
but not
insane."
in
That's when I was
what
like,
I mean,
"Whoa!"
in a rough
Even the
area.
primary school kids are carrying it. So
I'm
yeah,
not
this is a
leaving.
problem, folks. It's a big problem, and it's one that we all need to confront.
The country.
Everyone needs to do their part. Parents need to step in heavily.
Parents need to stop sending
Police
their white
need to
kids
do
to
much
school.
more.
Don't send white
Government
children
needs
to
to do
school.
more, and I don't mean
Keep
do
them at home
more
and
by
teach them.
taking
They've got
everybody's
laptops
rights.
and
Of course,
stuff, you
that
use
doesn't
laptops
not
and
help. It
everything.
actually helps those
They can
guys
have
who are
online teachers.
the criminals who are still going to do it.
They can
If
use
you
an
take
actual property
everybody's
to
rights, I
come
think
round once a week.
I think there should be a different approach to it, more
I'm going to
education
say,
to it. I
that's what
think
it should do.
there should
Teachers
be
that go around to the homes once a week to check the homework and to
maybe
give
I
them
think
the work.
the stuff that they.
And then
I think
obviously they could just
it's
stay
very
at
hard
home.
to unlearn bad stuff.
do the
It's
work.
very hard. Once you learn stupid shit, it's very hard for you to unlearn it.
Because that's what they need to
So
do.
therefore, we should try to
Obviously,
prevent
until the schools are resorted.
young boys from learning the crazy shit. From not just young boys, young girls too, everyone. From learning the thing. So I think the music industry has contributed heavily on this because every time when you listen to the music industry, they always talk about like.
Knives.
I remember
I've
the last
never
time I
talked about
listened to drill.
knives.
They call it drill,
Yeah.
the UK drill.
There's
Don't
nothing
listen
like
to
that
them.
in
Last
my
time I
music,
listened
what
to them
I've
was like
written.
probably 2014 or something. I listened to Adacadabra. The guy,
My
I
music's
used to
all
like,
about
I used to
music.
like him. But then I
It's
stopped
about
listening
what's
to him. That was
going on.
2014. Ever since then, I don't know. I don't know
Or
who's
what
doing
needs
what.
to be done.
But the music then was more of like, it was very, very
Like my
like
granddad.
violent. Like thinking, hey, what are you promoting here, bro? It's like, yeah,
The real Navy, the real armed force.
and
people that were
a
back
lot of
in
young
the day,
boys
that's why that's
will
the
listen to
real
that and be
people.
like, yeah, this is sick. And the lyrics is that hurting somebody. The lyrics is promoting and hurting somebody.
Well,
And I'm
you're
not
right,
talking
you're
about
right,
that.
you're
Of
right,
course,
that
I'm not
might
saying,
be
I'm not trying to imply that
about
he's the only
60 or
one who's
something.
doing it or he's the guy doing it. No. But I'm saying the
My
music
granddad,
is
if he
contributing
was here
heavily
now,
to
he'd be
this.
about 110.
And it's just something that we need to.
Over 100.
I don't know.
110.
We can't intervene in that, can we? Can the state intervene in that? I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe make it harder for.
So it's definitely 90
Oh
years
god,
ago,
that
80 years
gives
ago
the state
since
more
war,
control.
right?
Hey, we're fucked, man. We're cooked. Alright. I hope they figure something out. But what do you guys think of the story? Very horrific. And this story comes after 12 hours after I reported to you of the other story in Burnley, the other story of a young girl being stabbed in the neck.
Now another one.
Also very horrific, and it's just sad that this is where we are now, where stories like this come very often now. It's like you sit on that shit on this chair, finish telling this story, like this story that I'm showing you right now, where a 17-year-old kid was stabbed in the neck twice, and you think, oh, nobody else would do it. No more stabbing again.
Nope.
And then boom, breaking news, another stabbing.
That's why I don't
14-year-old
trust
boy
him, because they should have given him the death penalty. That
1-year-old.
the one that died Southport should have had the death penalty.
What else is coming next?
If he
what
had
else do I need to
that,
brace
this won't be
for?
happening now.
It's crazy. But guys,
Because no one will do it
did
again.
you like
Or
what
not
we
very
do here on
much.
this channel? Please do not hesitate on supporting. We need your freaking
Because
support.
people will start to think
So if you want
again.
to support the channel, first link in the description. It'll mean a lot. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for?
I know.
Well,
Thank you. Bye.
I'll do more convincing